Today, we're diving deep into a concept that's often pondered, but rarely fully explored. God's chosen ones. Your last action changed God's plan for you. This isn't just a catchy title. It's a profound statement that challenges our conventional understanding of divine will and human agency. The concept of God's plan, fixed or fluid. For many, the idea of God's plan conjures images of a predetermined blueprint, a meticulously laid out path that we are destined to follow from birth to eternity. It suggests a divine script where every step is already written, every outcome decided. In this view, we are merely actors playing out roles assigned to us, with little room for deviation. We often find comfort in this notion, believing that if God has a plan, then everything, no matter how challenging, is ultimately part of a larger, perfect design. However, this perspective, while comforting, might not fully capture the dynamic and interactive nature of our relationship with the divine. If God is truly omniscient, all-powerful, and supremely loving, then surely He also crafted us with the incredible gift of free will. This isn't just a minor detail. It's a cornerstone of our existence. We are not robots. We are beings capable of thought, emotion, and most importantly, choice. And with choice comes consequence, ripples that extend far beyond our immediate perception. The divine GPS, recalculating our path. Imagine God's plan not as a rigid, unyielding blueprint, but as a sophisticated divine GPS. God knows the ultimate destination, your highest good, your truest potential, a life rich with purpose, and a deep connection with Him. He has set the ultimate coordinates for your flourishing. Now, when you embark on a journey with a GPS, you have a destination in mind. But during the trip, you might encounter detours, unexpected traffic, or perhaps you simply decide to take a scenic route. Does the GPS simply give up and declare the journey over? No, it recalculates. It instantly processes your new input, understands your current position, and plots an alternative, optimized route to get you back on track towards that same ultimate destination. This is precisely how our last action can influence God's plan for us. Your choices, whether they are grand life decisions or seemingly small everyday actions, provide new data points. They are like taking a different turn on the journey. God, in His infinite wisdom and love, doesn't throw His hands up in exasperation. Instead, He recalculates, He adapts. He finds a new way, a new path, a new sequence of events that still leads to your ultimate good and His overarching purpose for your life. The power of your choices, shaping your divine narrative. Consider the countless stories, both sacred and secular, where a single action dramatically alters a life's trajectory. A moment of courage, an act of unexpected kindness, a regrettable mistake, a sudden change of heart. These aren't just isolated incidents. They are pivotal points where our free will intersects with divine grace. Think of it this way. God has a magnificent story He desires to tell through your life. He's the ultimate author, but you are a co-author, contributing chapters and paragraphs with every decision you make. If you choose to pursue a particular career path, or dedicate yourself to a specific cause, or even make a choice that leads to a setback, God doesn't abandon the story. He incorporates your choices into the unfolding narrative, weaving them into a tapestry that, in the end, will still reflect His glory and your unique journey. This perspective is incredibly empowering. It liberates us from the anxiety of making the wrong choice, fearing we might somehow mess up God's perfect plan beyond repair. It highlights that we are not passive puppets. We are active participants in our divine journey. Our choices matter immensely, not because they can thwart God's ultimate will, but because they shape the manner in which His will unfolds in our individual lives. They determine the specific lessons we learn, the unique challenges we overcome, and the particular blessings we experience. Crucially, this dynamic understanding of God's plan also incorporates two of the most powerful and transformative principles in all of spiritual life: grace and redemption. These are not just lofty theological ideas. They are active forces that shape the very fabric of our lives. If we accept that our free will has the power to shift the course of our journey, then we must also embrace the comforting truth that our errors, no matter how grave, do not disqualify us from divine love or purpose. Instead, they become the very raw material that God uses to create beauty out of brokenness, wisdom out of mistakes, and strength out of weakness. You see, grace is not a backup plan. It is not a safety net in case we fall. It is the living heartbeat of God's interaction with us. It means that no wrong turn is final, no misstep is fatal to our destiny, and no broken moment is beyond healing. Redemption is the divine promise that what was lost can be found again, what was shattered can be restored, and what we thought was the end may in fact be the beginning of a far more meaningful chapter. When we make a poor choice, whether driven by fear, ignorance, ego, or pain, God doesn't recoil or withdraw. He doesn't cross his arms and wait for us to grovel. Instead, the divine GPS of our soul quietly recalculates. It whispers new directions through the static of our confusion. It gently nudges us back toward alignment through life events, inner nudges, chance encounters, and yes, even through our heartbreaks. And sometimes, the detour becomes the real road. Sometimes the pain becomes the portal. The repentance, the lessons, the moments we wish we could erase. They actually become the sacred spaces where we come to know God more deeply, more personally, more intimately than ever before. Not just as the creator of the stars, but as the quiet presence who sits with us in our despair, who helps us rise after every fall, and who uses even our broken pieces to reflect his glory. This is the radical beauty of grace, that nothing is wasted. Every tear, every delay, every wrong turn, every betrayal, all of it can be woven into a higher outcome if we surrender it to him. The divine author doesn't discard your story because of one flawed page. He simply writes redemption into the next one. So let me remind you today, your last action, no matter what it was, didn't disqualify you. It didn't catch God off guard. It didn't force him to throw away your purpose. It simply gave him more material to work with, more opportunities to show you his mercy, and more room to demonstrate how flexible and creative divine love really is. What you may see as a detour, God might be using as a divine shortcut to your awakening. And what does this all mean for you in practical terms? It means that you can live boldly. You can live with purpose. You can make choices from a place of trust rather than fear. You don't have to be paralyzed by the fear of messing it all up, because God's plan is not a fragile design that breaks at your first mistake. It is alive, responsive, compassionate, and infinite. It's not just predestined, it's co-authored, co-created, and divinely recalculated with every breath you take. So embrace your free will, but embrace it wisely and reverently, knowing that this sacred gift is not something to be taken lightly. Every decision you make carries energy, intention, and consequence. And yet there is no need to live in fear of choosing wrong, because the God who gave you this gift is also the God who lovingly guides you through every twist and turn. Infuse your decisions with faith, the kind that dares to believe even when the road ahead is unclear. Let humility be your compass, reminding you that you don't need to have all the answers to be on the right path. And let love be your true north, the foundation of every choice you make, because when love leads, your spirit follows in alignment with divine wisdom. Understand this truth deep within your soul. even when you feel far from where you thought you should be. Even when the scenery of your life looks unfamiliar, or the path seems shrouded in fog, you are never truly lost. You may feel confused, disoriented, or even disappointed. But none of that changes the fact that God knows exactly where you are. Not only does He see you in the now, He sees every possible future that flows from this moment. And in His hands, even your detours carry divine direction. You may not be where you expected to be by now, but you are exactly where grace can reach you. And the moment you pause, reflect, and choose again, that single moment of self-awareness and surrender is the moment the divine GPS gently whispers, "Recalculating, route found. Let's keep going." This is the beauty of walking with God. You are never too far gone, never too far off course. The plan hasn't been canceled. The blessing hasn't been revoked. The promise still stands. The journey isn't over. It's being rewritten in real time, not in shame or punishment, but in partnership with a loving Creator who works all things together for your good. So take a deep breath. Look around with new eyes. Ask yourself not just where am I, but who am I becoming? Let your next step be one of intention. Let your next word carry truth. Let your next act reflect love. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be willing to take the next faithful step. Now I want to invite you into reflection. Have you ever experienced a moment where one decision, whether right, wrong, or somewhere in between, shifted everything? A moment that looked like a mistake but later revealed itself to be a hidden blessing. A moment where what you thought was failure became the foundation of your next level of strength, wisdom, or peace. If so, share your story in the comments below. Your words might be the lifeline someone else needs today. You never know the ripple effect your vulnerability could create. And if this message stirred something in your soul, if it helped you see your journey with a little more grace, a little more hope, and a lot more trust, then please consider supporting this space. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a moment of encouragement, insight, or truth. And if you'd like to go a step further and support the work we do in a tangible way, consider buying us a coffee at Buy Me a Coffee. Every gesture of support, big or small, helps us continue creating spiritually rich content that uplifts, empowers, and heals. Until next time, walk boldly, walk gently, and walk with God, step by step, moment by moment, choice by choice. You're not walking alone. You're co-creating a sacred and beautiful life with the one who knows the way home. And every moment, no matter how uncertain, still holds the potential to lead you exactly where you're meant to be. We'll see you in the next one. Stay blessed.